Canada's economy is just way too damn strong, and the Bank of Canada needs to spank Canadians again with another interest rate hike. At least that's the talk of all the media and all the articles going on right now. Now, as sophisticated investors, we always know we gotta peel the onion, look behind the curtain, and see what's really going on. Is this just another media huff piece, or is it legit? And that's what this video today is about. And by the way, welcome to another Fruitful report where I just give my thoughts, totally freestyle on what's going on with the economy, what's going on with real estate, what's going on with finance, without any fancy edits, no music like all my other videos, just straight fucking facts. So this video might be a little late, but I was on vacation in Spain, and now we're back in the studio and we're talking about the blowout jobs report that came out in Canada, where we had 64,000 jobs in the month of September when economists were expecting a measly 20,000 jobs. But we blew it out of the water, dude. 64,000 jobs. Oh my God, Canada's economy must just be chugging. It must be killing it, right? Well, let's bust it down and see if it's truth or if it's bullshit, and how to act, how to proceed as real estate investors or just investors in the world of finance. Number one, September is usually always a blowout month because a lot of people quit their jobs or move to another job during the summer and then take the summer off, and then they start working again in September when the kids go back to school. So September usually, historically, is always kind of a blowout month. Basically, Canadians are fucking lazy and they're gonna quit their job, tell their boss to fuck off in June, and they'll come back to work in September at another job. So there's that. Also, unemployment stayed flat at 5.5% and is expected to rise to like 5.7, 5.8 by November, December. Now, to me, 5.5% unemployment rate is really, really high, but historically, apparently, in Canada, that's actually pretty low. The normal unemployment rate in Canada for the past like 30, 40 years usually sits right around 6.5%, 7%, which totally blows my mind when I think about it, because 1 out of every 20 people right now in Canada doesn't have a job. And not only do they not have a job, they don't want a job. Now, if we compare down to the US, their unemployment rate right now is about 3.5%. And if their unemployment rate was 5.5 like ours, it would be total recession mayhem. People will be losing their fucking minds in the US because it never gets that high in the US. So I just found that interesting. But why I say that is that the unemployment is staying right where it is, yet we're adding so many more jobs, which is kind of confusing, which kind of dispels this myth of a price-wage spiral. That's what everybody's really concerned about, is getting to this stagflation where price wages keep going up, but there's not enough jobs, and then inflation just keeps rolling over and over and over. So far, we're not seeing that. And it's also kind of confusing that we can have so many more jobs, add all these jobs, yet the unemployment rate stays the exact same. How's that possible? Shouldn't the unemployment rate go down if more people are getting the jobs? This is where we peel the onion. This is where we look behind the curtain. What's really going on? What seems to be going on, if you're looking at the actual live data, is that Canadians are struggling like crazy. So this idea of all these media agencies, all these articles, and all these economists, like, oh, now the Bank of Canada has to raise rates again. Are you kidding me? Are we living under a fucking rock? Like, Canadians are struggling right now more than ever. Like in the past 30, 40 years, it's insane how people's money isn't going far enough. Their mortgage rate is so high, they can barely hang on as it is. So if you really look deep in these numbers, and by the way, it's really hard to get all the real data in Canada. I'll talk about that in a second. But what's really going on, if you have any fucking brain, is that people are getting second and third jobs just to support themselves in this crazy environment due to the interest rate hikes. But these jobs report, same in the US, doesn't account for people having multiple jobs. They're just saying, oh, we got these new jobs. People got a job here, they got a job here. We're gonna add it, tick, 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 add all these. No. It's not new people getting a job. It's not new people in the unemployment category. No, it's the same people who are already working, getting second and third jobs, part-time jobs, to help supplement their income to pay the fucking mortgage, to pay the rent. And what's really hard to tell, it's hard in Canada, like I said, to see who's getting these jobs. What jobs were added in the 60,000 jobs? Now, again, like I said, in Canada, it's hard to find this data because Canada doesn't reveal their data on anything. Quick little story. My wife is a sociologist specializing in crime. She did her PhD. Now, she specialized in the bail sector and wanted to compile all this data for the bail in Canada and couldn't get anything because Canada doesn't release any information on the criminal justice system, on the financial system, on the police, nothing. It's closed, it's tight. We don't share our information because we don't want studies published on how shitty Canada actually is, because everybody in Canada, and especially everybody around the world, thinks Canada's this nice, hunky-dory, come on in, we're going to caress you, we're going to love you, it's a safe country. And it is, in a sense, but why don't they give up their data? In the US, dude, it's an open book. If you want to get any body cam footage on a police officer, on any traffic stop, on anything, you can get data on anything. It's actually kind of creepy, man. Like, you can find out who owns what house. Are they behind on their mortgage payments? Have they paid their property tax? Like, it's great for real estate investing, but like, it's insane how open book the US is. So they have their problems, yes, but they're telling the academic community, they're telling anybody, hey, look behind the curtain, see what's going on, write articles on it, yell at us, publish about us, we don't care. US is capitalistic, it's open book. Anyway, that was a little side tangent that a lot of people don't know, but again, I can't find these fucking numbers. I can't find the true numbers in the Canada Jobs Report because I can't find it anywhere. If you can find it, let me know to see the real data. We can only assume, but we can look to the US Jobs Report, which also was a blowout month in the month of September. Anyway, we can look at the jobs there and we can see that a lot of these, the vast majority of these jobs that were added, again, were these part-time, low-paying jobs at the mall, at fast food things, low-paying jobs people are getting to supplement their income. So we can only assume that that's pretty much exactly what's going on in Canada. I mean, the countries are pretty much similar, so whatever happens there kind of happens here. So we can only assume that if that's happening there, that's where these blowout jobs are coming from, are not real high-paying, sophisticated jobs. They're just shitty jobs for people to supplement their income. But now it's being published as like, oh my God, Canada's economy is going crazy. We got to raise rates. What the fuck are you talking about? Now, one area in Canada that is being talked about, thankfully, in these shitty legacy media articles is that the construction industry is having a huge pullback. And luckily enough, being in the construction industry, I can say with anecdotal evidence that we're seeing a massive, massive slowdown in construction. I mean, about 6 to 8 months ago, I was posting jobs online to add to our company because we're buying so many flips, and I was being inundated with resumes. And I even told my project manager at that time, like, yo, we're in a recession, or a recession is very coming, because for the past 5 years that I've been flipping houses super actively, I can't find employees anywhere. Employees had the pick of the litter. They could pick any job they want. Fuck you, I want this. I don't have to work for you. Now, I'm being inundated with resumes, even to this day. And I took down this job ad. I don't know how they're still finding me, but I'm getting applications almost 1 to 2 a day. And the ad isn't even up like fully to be seen. So people in the construction industry are hurting so bad. When I talk to my subcontractors that we use outside of our, core guys, they're all saying the same thing. Like, dude, I got no work. If you have anything, please let me know. If you need some painting done, I know I'm an electrician, but yo, I'll paint your house. Like, we have no work going on. That is fucking crazy, because the construction industry usually always gets hit first. And it's a telltale sign of what's to come for the other industries, manufacturing, finance, education, they're next. So what's going on is interest rates are so high, their mortgage payments are going up. People don't have the money anymore to renovate their kitchen, because that's what was going on. People would refinance, they would take out a HELOC, keep up with the Joneses. Oh, my kitchen is kind of okay, but let's spruce it up, keep up with the Joneses. No. That's like all gone. Nobody's fucking renovating their kitchen. Nobody's renovating their basement anymore. Flippers are dropping out left, right, center. Real estate investors are saying, fuck you, I'm not buying shit. The construction industry is hurting so bad. Oh yeah, and builders aren't building, that's for sure. So with all that doomsday shit being said, this is a channel of positivity. I like to tell you guys what to do rather than just freaking out for clicks and clickbait and oh no. Okay, so what are we gonna do? What's next for the real estate economy? What's next for the economy in general? Well, first things first, there's always a lag effect with this CPI data, with all these job data. There's always a lag effect. So what that means is they kind of average out real estate prices, they average out food prices. However, real estate in Canada makes up 60% of the CPI inflation report. That is fucking crazy. And in the last reports, even the last one that just came out, it's still showing as real estate going up. What the fuck are you talking about? Real estate's been going down for like a year. It's a year lagged in data, which means that when today's data starts to actually hit, it's gonna be like 6-8 months from now. And when the real estate drop that just happened like really 8 months ago, that still hasn't even hit the CPI yet. So can you imagine, let's just be real. The inflation report 60% is real estate based, rents and housing. We know housing has gone down in Canada specifically a lot more than it has in the US. We'll talk about that in a bit or other videos, but Canada's real estate has gone down for sure. 20% in the GTA, 15-20% in major cities like Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, all these major cities in Ontario. Real estate has gone down, and the CPI still isn't showing that dip actually happen. So what do you think is going to happen to the CPI when it does? I know we're stuck at the stubborn 4%. Oh no, it looks like inflation's rising in Canada. Oh no, this blowout jobs report, inflation's probably going to, what the fuck are you talking about? Just wait, dude, wait until real estate actually starts to hit the CPI. It's going to drop like a fucking rock. And what's going to happen when inflation drops like a rock? Well, the Fed has already said we're going to lower rates. That's the playbook. Once we hit 2% or around 2% anyway, they're kind of leaving that kind of vague because they know 2% is pretty low and not realistic. Around 2%, that's when we're going to start cutting rates. However, I don't really believe the Bank of Canada specifically can wait long enough for this lag effect real estate data to actually hit before they can start lowering rates. And by the way, we know that the government is stupid, they're idiots, but they're not that big of an idiot. Everything I'm talking to you about the real live data, about the actual job numbers, if you peel the onions, who's getting the jobs, where are the jobs coming from, what's happening in real estate. Yes, we know in live data, real estate is dropping like a rock. Okay, they know all of these things. So for them to sit there and be like, no, we're not fucking budging on interest rates until we hit 2% inflation, you're an idiot. We're getting to a position where Canada is, I truly think Canada is in a recession right now. We know that the US is kind of doing good, or so the numbers kind of look. If you peel the onion on the US data, it's kind of the same thing. But we know the US recession is widely being predicted for early 2024 to mid 2024. So anywhere from like March, April, May, June, July, the US is going to be in a recession. Maybe not a crazy recession, but definitely a recession nonetheless. Okay, we know Canada is always 3 to 6 months before the US. And the fact that we just had a negative GDP print in the last quarter, meaning this fourth quarter, it's probably going to be negative GDP again, or zero, which basically means 2 consecutive quarters is a recession. So I truly think Canada is already in a recession. The anecdotal evidence, if you talk to anybody in Canada, everybody's struggling. Food prices are crazy. More importantly, their interest rates on their mortgage is crazy. Rent is too high. They can't afford anything. Nobody's shopping anymore like they used to. Nobody's going out to dinner, going out to movies. So again, all that lag effect is going to hit the CPI data, I don't know, maybe in February, March, April, May of next year of what's happening today. So with all that being said, if you're a real estate investor, if you're just a person who owns a home specifically, and you're having a hard time, you kind of, right now, bad news is good news. So realistically, we want a recession, because as soon as we enter a recession, they have to lower rates. That's the playbook. Your tough talk, bye-bye. It's over. I don't care about, we're not at 2% inflation. I don't give a fuck. We got a bigger problem on our hands now. A recession, you have to lower rates, period. And again, we'll just kick the inflation can down the road, maybe for the next economic cycle, which is really being predicted by a lot of major economists, is like, yes, this recession we're going to have in Canada and the US isn't going to be this crazy fucking 2008 slam Armageddon thing. It'll be a mild, shallow recession, most likely. It probably is going to be the next recession. It's going to be insane 2008, 2028, 2030, 2032, somewhere around there. That next recession is going to be probably a gong show, but this one, not going to do it. Because we know that the Fed in Canada and in the Fed in the US is like, they're done. They're at the end of their tightening cycle. Canada is for sure done. No more rates. You can't afford it. Fuck you. Your debt is way too high. The interest payments on your debt is absolutely insane. And again, the inflation we're now seeing in the live data is from the interest rate hike. So the extra payments on mortgage payments, rents, again, the more you increase real estate costs, we just pass that down to the renter, so up rents go, coupled with we have no supply still. I know we're seeing a lot of supply on the market right now. A lot of people are trying to tap out and sell their house. We're not even still, even with all that, we're not even close to the supply we need to make a balanced housing market. We have no supply. So all of those things together, dude, real estate ain't fucking going nowhere. But also, all this extra inflation is from the interest rate hikes pushing higher costs on homeowners, raising the cost of shelter. Again, that CPI report, 60% is real estate. So what are you going to do? Keep raising interest rates into oblivion? Oh, inflation's still going up. Yeah, 60% is because of real estate. Okay, raise rates again. Up inflation goes. Raise rates again. Up inflation. What the fuck are you doing? This is like a double-edged sword. You can't do that. Again, the point of this video, the Fruitful Report, is to peel the onion. What's actually going on? What can we do next? So what's going on? We'll end this video right here. Canadians are not doing well. We are in a recession or very close to one. I think we're already deep in one. Canadians are struggling. Their housing cost is insane. Food is insane, but it is coming down. Inflation is trending down. If you look at live data, oil's coming down. Copper, trade, freight trade, like all the freight that, you know, the problems we had during the pandemic of getting things from China, that's all fixed. It's all fixed. Slickety split is the trade now. But again, it's not showing up in the data just yet because of like the year-long lag effect. So live data right now, we know inflation's coming down. That's good. That's where they want it to go. Canadians are struggling like fucking crazy. Job losses everywhere. Construction industry is flat to dead. Dude, recession, recession, recession. What are you talking about? Listen, listen. So what's the next realistic step? Cut, baby. You have to. So what does that mean for the real estate market? As soon as they motherfucking cut. Not even. They don't even have to cut, dude. The second Tiff McClem says, all right, we're done raising rates. We've reached peak tightening. What was that sound? Real estate booming in the fucking background. The second this motherfucker says, we're done, and especially when they say, okay, now it's the first cut, real estate is gonna fucking boom. There's so much pent-up demand. So many millennials and Gen Z waiting on the sideline, waiting, just fucking waiting. Please stop raising rates. Tell me it's over. Cut the first time. As soon as they do that, floodgates are going to open. Oh my God. And again, with that low supply we have in Canada, perfect storm, it's going to be a fucking blowout. And they know it. That's why Tiff McClem, the Bank of Canada, keeps saying things like, we're data dependent. We'll see. We might have to raise in November. Fuck you. You know you're not doing shit. Every top economist, every top bank is saying bullshit. The bond market saying bullshit. You're done. But they can't say that just yet because inflation isn't really exactly where they want it. And this motherfucker can't say we're done because he knows what's going to happen. He's not a moron. He knows what's going to happen in the stock market and the housing market specifically. He can't say that. So that's why they're putting all these articles out. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but hey, come on, let's be real. The CBC, all these legacy medias in Canada, totally liberal party. You know, everything's good. Everything's rosy. Actually, the economy's killing. No, it's not, okay? They all know, and they're all talking, dude, don't say anything just yet. Just pretend it's all rosy because they all know. The second the Bank of Canada says, we're done raising rates, they know what's coming. More inflation, higher housing prices. They know what's coming. They can't say it yet, but they're going to soon. Anyway, guys, that's the episode for the Fruitful Report. That's peeling the onion. That's seeing what's going on. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep following the data. Keep taking action. Keep finding good deals in good quality areas where there's good population growth. All the nerdy economical shit we always talk about on this channel. Just keep doing what you're doing because what's coming in the next 24 months, 3 years especially, real estate in Canada is going to go through the fucking roof. Same thing with the US, but in Canada especially. I'll see you in the next video.